When I first heard about the iPad, I was thrilled to think about all these different purposes it could have for e-learning, and I would like to show you a few of the applications I have found most useful. Generally, I've been a bit disappointed because it is heavily controlled by Apple, and many of the things that I would like to do with it seems to be blocked for some reason. And you can't just run any application you like and blah, blah, blah. And as you can see right now, I need to arrange it so that you can see what happens on screen simply by my second camera, since this connection to my monitor will only work when Apple wants it to work, meaning that you can't just output any picture from the screen. Anyway, let's get started. One of the applications that I was very thrilled to read about was Keynote on the iPad. Keynote is basically PowerPoint for the iPad. So you can have your slideshow made on a Mac, typically. You can load it into Keynote on the iPad, and you can run the show. And you can run it with all the animations and so on that you're used to. So as you can see, Keynote enables the VGA output from the iPad to my panel behind me right here. And I can swipe to change slide and so on. One thing you can also do is you can hold your finger on the iPad and you can use it as a laser pointer. Okay, but you can't draw on the slide. So that's what I hoped would be possible. Anyway. So Keynote is one example. We can go to the menu. I would like to show you something called Adobe Ideas. And this is where we might be able to actually draw something on the slides. I don't know if we have a signal over there. It seems not. So Adobe Ideas look like this. I can create a new blank idea and I can select a color and I could draw something. So of course we could now imagine that, and what you see right now is that I'm using a Pogo sketch stylus. So this is a pen that allows me to draw on the screen, not with my finger, but with this device. But there is somehow a limitation to how detailed I can go. So if I want to write a very small formula, it is not going to work very well. I can't even write. It's not that precise. So, as you can see, there are some limitations even in the precision of writing on top of this screen. Another possible use of the iPad would be note-taking. We could imagine students using the iPad on the small tables in the lecture halls and both having their books, their e-books on the iPad and also being able to type. So one of the applications for note-taking which I found is kind of cool is this one called Sundry Notes. And okay, so yeah, what you can see here is that I have drawn a graph and I have included something from a website cut out from CampusNet. I have tried to write something with the Pogo sketch stylus here, and as you can see, it's not really beautiful. And then of course I can also, if I come on, yes, thank you. I get the virtual keyboard up here, my note, and I can type along. Okay, if you really want to type on the iPad, you need this cover. As you can see, I have my iPad wrapped into, because otherwise it just doesn't get the angle in order to type. So when you have the cover, you can actually type on the iPad. So you need to get that if you want to use it seriously for content creation in terms of writing. The iPad might not be perfect for creating content, but it is pretty good at reading PDF files and ebooks and the likes. And one application I like very much is called Goodreader. And Goodreader is a PDF reader that allows you to read even very large PDF files, like this is an 831-page document from a chemistry book. And I'm able to zoom in on the text. This has been scanned and also it has been optical character recognized. So I'm able to highlight text and I can highlight it like this. And I can save it to an annotated copy if I like, which I would try to do right here. It's a large document, so it takes some time. But it's great, the fact that Goodreader allows you to annotate PDF files, because that's what really is essential if you want to substitute papers. And probably as an academic, you know that you like to highlight stuff in the papers you're reading, and you're actually able to do that great with the good reader application right here. So I can recommend that if you want to go paperless. Another thing that you might have heard about on the iPad is ebooks. So if I open iBook, which is Apple's suggestion for an ebook reader, you get your library of ebooks right here. And I could select one ebook that we have created ourselves on the math course. So this is a DTU made ebook on the iPad with a lot of math, matrices and so on. And then of course the iPad is also great for consuming podcasts. Again, we have a lot of podcast channels at DTU now, and you could go to videos and select the podcast you would like to look at. And what do we have here? Maybe up here, e-learning videos from the math course, and we select the podcast, and there we go. Another thing I found the iPad great for is gaming, and especially my kids love it. So if you can't find any professional use of your iPad, you can probably entertain your kids for hours using the iPad. If it turned the right way. Come on. Okay, you get the idea. Although the iPad is an intriguing technology, it has a way to go before it's a great e-learning tool, if you ask me. If you happen to own an iPad and you somehow find a great way to use it in your teaching, please let us know at Learning Lab. We would love to present some cases where this device is playing a powerful role in the teaching of DTU students.